it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a mat Pilates workout that is focused on the abdominals as well as weaving throughout some nice stretching and mobility work at the same time. Yeah, so it's going to be a nice quick workout that's going to feel really, really good and get us sweating and feeling the burn really quickly. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start on our mat with our legs outstretched, so slightly wider than your hips. So if you're sitting on a mat, about the width of your mat apart. Okay, flex your feet. Maybe the knees can bend a little bit if that helps you sit more upright. All right, so take your arms out in front of you and you're just going to place the backs of your hands on the insides of your knees. So keep a little bit of pressure of the hands into the legs and you're just going to breathe out, draw the abdominals back towards the spine and find a nice flexion. So the further you slide the hands down the legs, the further that stretch is going to be. And then you're going to come back upright and stack your spine. Good. Do that again. Breathe out. Feel those abdominals gathering up and in. And then return yourself back up. Good. A few more times. So using those hands as a measure, see if each time we can get just a little bit more stretch. Yeah, and almost think of this more as a spine stretch than a leg stretch. So feel the shoulder blades pull apart from each other. Let's do that one more time. Getting into our breath. Very good. All right, now sit up tall, reach your arms out to the sides, make a T. Now, I just want you to inhale and twist to one side. Get as big of a rotation as you can. Look behind you and then face back to the front. And then do the other side. Rotate. This back arm can kind of come across your center and then return. Do that a couple more times. Try to get tall off your sitting bones. Very good. Just kind of loosening up the upper back, finding length into that rotation. Good. Try to just leave your legs heavy onto the mat. All right, now twist to one side. We're going to go into the saw. So your back arm is going to turn in. My thumb points to the floor and my pinky finger tries to reach to my pinky toe. Come up and flip the palm and face back front. Now go to the other side. Twist. By turning this back arm in, we get a little more range of motion through the back shoulder. Return and then face front. A few more times. Breathe in as you twist. Exhale, carving up through those abdominals. So we're stretching, but also getting in some good work for the abs. Yes, a few more times. Twist. Exhale. Yes, so rather than flattening out over that leg, you're thinking of kind of hollowing up and over it, supporting yourself in this position. Yes, good. Let's do that one last time. Big twist, up and over. Very good. All right, rest the arms down, bend your knees. Make sure you have some room behind you. Put your feet and your knees all the way together and then just grab onto your kneecaps, okay? I want you to use your arms to help pull yourself into a nice tall sitting position. Take a breath in. Now as you exhale, I just want you to round your back and kind of hang off of your arms and see if you can get a good stretch back between your shoulder blades, and then use your arms to pull yourself back upright. You can even take a little extra lift of your chest. Do that again. Exhale, hollowing out through those abdominals. And again, you want a lot of traction on the arms and the legs so you feel a nice separating of the shoulder blades. Good. Do that two more times so we get a stretch for the back in both directions, just in different ways. We get that nice extension as we lift, flexion to roll back. Good. And again, you can keep this really slow or maybe start to speed it up a little bit, kind of moving through those two places. All right, last time. Okay, now I want you to roll back kind of how we were, halfway. Now lift your legs up to tabletop and hold on to the sides of your thighs now. So rather than the kneecaps, hold here and just feel your abdominals kind of firing up a little bit to hold you here. Now I want you to exhale to get ready. As you inhale, I want you to roll back up onto your shoulder blades and then come up and find your balance. Good, do that again. Breathe in and roll back and then come up and find your balance. Whew. Good. It's kind of like a little massage for your back along the mat, so that feels super good. But it's a ton of work to keep this same distance between your thighs and your chest. Very good. Let's do that a couple more times. Your back just maintains this C shape. Yes, make sure your head isn't tossing to help you go back. Just enough of a pulling back of your abdominals should do the trick to help rock you back there. Okay, let's do 2 more. So good. All right, now from here, pause at the top. I want you to roll down as slowly as humanly possible so that your low back touches the floor. Now use your arms and pull yourself back up to sitting on your sitting bones. Do that again, slowly, slowly. So I'm using my arms like crazy. I'm easing my low back to the mat, and then I'm going to kick into my arms a little bit to come back up to sitting. That's not easy. Do that a few more times. If you need to put your feet down, you can. If you need to put one foot down, you can. This is actually much easier with one leg at a time. Yeah? So again, it's kind of a nice stretch for the back and the shoulders, but even more work through those abdominals. All right, do that 2 more times. So it's kind of like almost slow motion of that rocking action without going all the way upside down. All right, now on your next one, I want you to stay down there on the mat. Keep your shoulder blades rounded apart from each other. Switch your grip to one leg and let the other leg reach forward, and then switch. Very good. So now it's up to you. You can either really rely on your arms a lot to make this more of an arm exercise, or have a really light grip, just kind of guiding the tracking of your knees. That way your abs have to work a little harder to keep you here. And you can be slow, or maybe going a little quicker, quicker, quicker. You decide. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hug your knees to your chest and lay your body down. All right. Okay, so now I want you to reach your legs straight up to the ceiling. Take that same kind of grip on the sides of your thighs. Okay, now again, you decide if you really want to muscle and use your arms or have it be more about the abs with a softer grip. Okay, so take a breath in. I want you to just nod your chin and pull yourself up towards your straight legs and then lay back down. Do that again. Now, the straightest legs you can comfortably have. I care about your femur being straight up and down, not so much your shins. So if you need to bend your knees a little bit, that is totally fine. All right, now curl up and hold just like before. Switch your grip to one leg so that one is free to drop, and then switch. So a nice scissoring action. You can absolutely do this with your head down on the mat. Okay, modifying as needed, or you can take one or both hands behind the head. So good. Exhaling as the legs find that scissor. Inhale as they switch. Now let's go into a double pulsing action. You pulse 1, 2, switch 1, 2, switch 1, 2, switch 1, 2, switch. Good. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just keep that leg that's lifted up. Set your bottom one down and lay your head on the mat. Good. All right, you can just roll your top ankle around a little. Give as much pull with your arms as you'd like. And just kind of slow your breathing down. Good. Maybe bend and stretch that knee a couple times, giving as much pull from the arms, depending on how deep of a stretch you'd like. Good. Try to bring that knee towards your chest as it bends. Good. All right, let's switch legs. Place the other one down. Reach your new leg up. Give it a little pull. Start with just a nice ankle circle. Very good. And then take a couple bend and stretches. Very good. All right, you guys. Okay, next, I want you to bring both legs up to tabletop. Take your hands back to that position on the outsides of your knees. Okay, now I want you to have a lot of pressure of your hands on your knees so that when I try to separate my knees from each other, it's not easy to do so. So it's almost like my arms, or have you ever seen that machine at the gym, right, where people sit down and there's the thing on the outsides and they push their knees out? So that's kind of what this is. We're just using our arms instead of a machine. Okay, so I want you to try that a couple times. Try just to push into the hands. Whew. And then return. Good. Couple more times. Pinch your heels tight together. So it should feel hard to go in both directions. Yes, particularly so to the sides. Whew. So that's going to give us some nice work for those external rotator muscles. Okay, so my feet are together. I end up in this diamond shape. Now, pause in the diamond shape. Keep the pressure between my hands and my knees. Nod your chin, and you're just going to curl up towards the legs. Yeah, lots of pressure, so you should feel your glutes and your arms working. Now lay back down and return the knees together. Do that again. 1, they separate. 2, I pull with my arms to help lift my body. Lay back down and then return. So good. Couple more times. Yeah, so now for me on this one, I'm choosing to really use my arms to give them a little bit of work too. But you could absolutely make the choice to think more abs, less arms on the lift. Yeah, now the arms will still be pressing onto the thighs to work the outer thighs. Good. All right, now next time, instead of taking that in 4 counts, it's going to be 2 counts. So as I open, I'm already lifting. As I close, I'm lowering. So it happens all together. And then return. So good. 3 more times. Lift and lower, feeling those inner and outer thighs. Last time. Now curl up and stay. I want you to release your grip, straighten your legs, flip your palms to the mat as if you were going to do hundreds. Come back and re-grip your hands to the knees. Close and lay back down. That was a lot. Now do that again. Same place to start. We open as we lift. Now I just reach my arms and legs forward, bend and re-grip, and then lay back down. Good. Few more times. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So good. Lift, reach. All right, one more time. Curl. Keep those shoulder blades apart from each other. Whew, and then grab your knees and rest. Whew. All right. One last thing. We're going to add on a circle of the arms, causing us to have to hold those legs there a little bit longer. So here we go. Hands and knees touching. I separate the knees and flex. Arms and legs reach. Now just leave the legs where they are. Circle the arms out and around and down. Find your grip and then lower. Do that again. Reach, flip, circle out and around, the biggest circle you can make. Bring it in and lower down. 2 more times. 1, reach, big circle. Try not to move your legs. Return and lower. Last time. 1, out, circle, and then grab and lay down. Oh, so good. All right, set your feet down and just rock your knees from side to side. Good. Now maybe pause on one side. See if you can get your back knee as close to the floor as you can. You should feel a nice thigh stretch. If you want a little bigger stretch, take your other foot, cross it over that knee, and push down. And then just try to soften your ribs to the floor. Send your breath to wherever feels tight. Good. And then let's try that on the other side. Drop your knees. Good. Get the back knee as close to the mat as you can. It's okay if that hip comes off of the floor. And then cross the opposite foot over knee and find a gentle pressure down. You should feel that all the way through the thigh, up into the hip flexor. Whew. Awesome, you guys. All right, roll over. Let's come on off of our backs, and we're going to come onto our side now. So I'm going to get some ab work in. in a little side sitting position, which is always fun. So you're going to take one hand to the floor. Your top leg is going to go out to straight and just kind of tap your toe on the mat. Okay, bottom knee is bent. Top arm, reach up to the ceiling. If your wrist doesn't feel great here, you're welcome to drop down to your elbow if you would like. Okay, so here we go. All we're going to do is pick our hip up off of the floor and then replace it back down. Good, do that again. Now you want your bottom hand forward on the mat a little bit so that when you lift your hips up, you're in one nice long line from side to side. Yeah, let's do that a couple more times. Lift and then lower. So really feeling this bottom side of the waist, gather up and then return. Good, hips go up and forward. Now this time, lift up there and stay. Keep your pelvis how it is. So the glutes stay engaged. Now you're just gonna twist and try to thread the needle under, return back to the front, and then sit down. Do that again. I lift, I round, I return, and then sit down. Yeah, a couple more times. Drive this shoulder away from the ear. Good. As I twist under, try to feel the hips driving forward in opposition. All right, now hold up there and stay, and you're just going to repeat that threading of the needle, except when you look up, try to open and let the arm drop behind you. So a little bigger range of motion. Exhale, twist. Inhale, feel the collarbones widening. Pec gets a good stretch. And under. Good. 2 more times. Lower body stable. And then find that nice free range in the upper body. Good. Now pause in the center. I want you to lift your hips. Find a nice side bend to stretch it out. Let the arm fall to the floor. And then come all the way down. Whew. Good. All right. One last thing here. This is very difficult. Okay, so again, drop to your elbow. Let's just give this a try. So now instead of having the toes tapped, I want you to flatten your foot out. Toes point forward, so as much of the sole of the foot is down as you can, okay? It's gonna be tricky on our abs as well as our inner thighs for this one. So arm is reaching. I want you to lift up just like we did. Now pause. You're gonna remove your bent leg off the floor and try to squeeze your knees together. Set the shin back down and then place the hip on the mat. So not easy, yeah? Lift. If you're next to like a chair or something that you could place this other hand on for support, that might be helpful. Yes, doing it on the elbow would really be another good way. Yes, if you're feeling any discomfort in your wrists. Let's do this a couple more times. Ooh, this is whole body and then down. So you just kind of pick your shin up in one piece. Lift stays level with the floor. Okay, now we're going to hold up there and stay and just lift and lower. Lift and lower. 3 more. Last 2. Now hold up and stay and just squeeze your knees together and hold for 5, 4, 3. You can do it too. And then come all the way down. Okay. Wow, that was a lot. All right, let's do that on the other side. Okay. So other leg tapped out, new hand forward. You almost want to think knee and hand pretty close to in line with each other this way. All right, so top leg reaches, pull the ribs away from the ground, and then we're going to lift up and then replace down. Yeah, so being on the toes on that straight leg makes it so we can't use that leg so much as a support, which is going to make more of the effort come from here. Okay, so just a light tap of the toes, shoulder away. Very good. Couple more times, lift. All right, now hold up there and stay. Add in 1, twist towards the floor, return, and then touch the hips down. Good. I lift, I rotate, open, and then lower. So good. Couple more. Good. That's it. Keep the hips forward, away from the heel as you rotate. Good. One more time. Now this time, let's stay there and go continually rotating under and then rotating up and over to stretch. Exhale under. Inhale, feel wide through the chest. Whew, good, super good for that bottom shoulder as well, yeah? With the torso rotating around it. So good. Now pause with the arm up, side bend. Maybe your straight leg slides out a little bit. Whew, and then just stretch. Whew. So good. All right. Next, our super challenging, super fun little side plank, hovering the bottom knee. All right. Grab onto something if that's helpful. Try to get the whole sole of your foot down. All right, here we go. Try to think of your two arms as one arm. So they're reaching and stacking. Now hold at the top, knees come together, replace, and then lower. So good. I lift and stay. Feel those inner thighs get tight, 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 top to bottom, and then lower. That's it. Drop to your elbow if you need to modify. And it's okay if your bottom knee is not coming off today. You can just do the initial lift to build up to that strength. All right, here we go. Lift up and stay. Bottom knee up and lower. Up and lower. So good. Feel that one arm top to bottom. Two more. Okay, now the best part. Hold for 5. Breathe 4. 3. 2. And then come on down. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. So good. All right. Last but not least, we're going to do one last little thing on our hands and our knees, and then we'll finish with a really good stretch that we have for sure earned. Okay. All right. So let's come down onto all fours. Knees are hip width apart. Okay, so all I want you to do is slide one leg back so that the ball of my foot is down and my leg is straight. Now, I want you to feel your two hands, your 2 feet, and that bottom knee really pushing the mat away from you. And already you'll start to feel your abdominals, yes? So push into the floor. Now, we're going to do a cat stretch in this position. So I want you to drop your head, round your spine as evenly as you can, and then lengthen and stretch the opposite direction. Yes, so we all know and have done many, many times a cat stretch on all fours, right? So this just brings an added element. Ooh, a lot more awareness because that back hip is extended as we're flexing the spine, which that's kind of an odd thing, right? So it really brings some awareness to the lower abdominals and then to the obliques to try to keep our spine and shoulders pretty square. All right, you guys. Now, let's just start from neutral. Now, when we flex the spine, so starting neutral, we're going to round the spine. When we do that, I want you to hover your front knee off the ground, round your back like you're trying to touch your nose to it, and then lengthen back to neutral and set your knee down. Do that again. Exhale. Now, again, this is optional. Continue with what we were doing before if lifting the knee doesn't feel good. Exhale. Okay, if you're having success and want to try the next level up, point your foot so the top of the foot is down. Now, round and try to pick up your whole shin and then place the shin back down. Now, if the shin comes off in one piece, that's a little bit harder work for your abdominals. If you need to, you can kind of let it do the worm where it comes off sequentially and then roll back down. Whew, so good, you guys. Now round up there and stay. I want you to stretch the leg behind you, get to a pike position in your body, reach your leg high, and then rock back and round nose to knee. Do that again. Lean back and stretch the leg, round and press forward. Up and then round. How high the leg goes, doesn't matter. 2. Last one. Whoo, and then set your knee all the way down. Ooh, that was exciting. All right, let's do that on the other side. Okay, here we go. So get your new leg back, and we'll start with our cat stretches. So kind of getting comfortable in this position. Getting the spine moving. Whew. All right, you guys, feel those points that are attached to the floor, really driving down. Whew. Okay, do that one more time. Okay, now starting from neutral, Take a breath in, start with your toes tucked under, and just come up to the ball of your foot, and then back to neutral. Exhale, nose to knee, back to neutral. Try to articulate the spine. Very good. Now stick with this or point the foot and lift the entire shin and then return. So good. Entire shin and then return. Good. 2 more. And then we're going to add in our arabesque. So curl up, lengthen your back, look between the hands or maybe just at the mat, and then round back forward. Long back and then rounded back. Straight and then nose to knee. 2 more. And curl 1 more. And then place your knee down. Oh, amazing. All right, you guys, lay on your stomach. If you feel like you might need some assistance with a back stretch, maybe grab a towel or a flex band or something to help assist on this next stretch. If you don't need it, then you can just use your own hands, okay? So come on down to your stomach. So we did a lot of ab work today. So we're going to stretch out the front of the body, okay? So all I want you to do is set your hands about shoulder width apart, bend your elbows, place them down on the mat. Legs are turned out, hip width apart, and then nose is just hovering off the floor. Okay, draw your abs away from the floor, and I just want you to breathe in and come up into an upper back stretch. If you push harder into your hands, you'll probably come up higher. But if you use your hands less, then your back muscles have to do a little bit more. Okay, so let's start with it kind of small, and then we'll gently increase the size. Okay, good. Couple more times. That neck matches the line of the upper back. Now let's start using our hands just a little bit more here so we get a slightly bigger stretch. So if you're comfortable, maybe take your ribs off of the floor. Yes, feel like your abs pull away first so the glutes are involved. Even more. And then press up. Good. Couple more times. So by getting your arms all the way straight, that is a big full back extension. Only do that if you feel comfortable. Abs up. Very good. Last 2. Whew. And last one. Oh, so good. All right, I want you to cross one hand and place your head on it. Now, with your other arm, it's going to reach back and grab the same leg on that side. Okay, so for me, I've got left arm, left leg. This is the point where if you're unable to comfortably grab your foot, you would want to hook a towel or a band or something around it so that you could still do this stretch, okay? So you're just going to pull your foot or your heel towards your sitting bone and get a little thigh stretch. So think of pushing your hip bones into the mat, pulling your abs away, and you'll feel that quad really stretch. All right, now I'm just going to kick my foot into my hand, lift my head, and come up as much as I'm comfortable with. So you could come up just to your elbow. You could adjust your hand a little bit so that you can push up even higher and maybe straighten your arm. And then you're going to lay your body back down. Good. Do that again. So if your elbow's coming off the mat, you're going to want your hand out to its own side a little bit more. Yes. But if you're leaving your elbow down, I think it feels a little better to lay the head on the hand at the bottom. Yeah. So you decide and you just work through this stretch however feels good, or maybe you just stay in the thigh stretch. Yes. But it's nice to have this leverage between arm and leg. So that really gives us a little stretch. It's like we're being our own partner for a partner stretch. Yes. Let's do 2 more. Abs up. Feel open through the hips. Last one. Ah. So good. All right, switch. So bring your other hand down, grab your new foot. If you're leaving your elbow down, you can lay the forearm across. If you're going to push all the way up, bring the hand more near the shoulder. All right, so start by driving your hip bones into the mat. Lift the abs up. Now inhale, kick into the foot. Ooh, feel that stretch through the shoulders, the spine, the abdominals. And then come back down. Yes, and this stretch is going to look way different for everybody. Even depending on the day, it's going to look different between just yourself and yourself of tomorrow. Yes, so just be kind to yourself. As long as you're feeling a stretch, you're doing it right. That's the goal. Okay, let's do 2 more times using that assist of the towel or the band. That's a really great way to work up to this, okay? Whew. All right, set your hands down, push yourself back so that your hips are on your heels. Head towards the floor and just take a few nice deep breaths. Good. Maybe shift your hips from side to side a little bit. Good. And then crawl your hands in to come on up. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that stretchy, abdominal, challenging workout. If you did, please give it a like. Leave me a comment down below if you have any feedback or requests for future videos. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Bye.